Steve, welcome to Timbers in 30.
Happy to be here.
You are the first, this is your first time on the show, and you are the newest member of the Timbers. So
That's
before
right.
we get into everything, what are your impressions of this city? What are your impressions of the club?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, when I got here, it was, pretty amazing treatment from the club and how seamless they got me into an apartment and I was able to really just focus on soccer, and I think that's the most important thing. So, I mean, I think for the Timbers, their reputation preceded them in that fact, so it was nice to be here. And then the fans, I mean, playing at Providence Park, and I always enjoyed playing there, but now it's like nice to have the fans behind me.
They're on your side now.
Yeah, it's been great, dude. My wife's happy. We're walking our dog down the Pearl District. Everything's smooth sailing.
Your first match at Providence Park playing was September 8th. You guys beat Colorado 2-0. That meant that you got your first log slab in that game, and the enthusiasm that you showed for it was awesome. We saw the video. We had it on our broadcast afterwards. Not only in the stadium, you told me you brought that log slice home with you on the ride home as well. You get into a car with that. What's the driver say when you're getting to this car carrying this big piece of wood?
I'm not sure that the driver was a Timbers fan, so I think she thought we were a little bit out of our heads, but we got it home and we're like, what do we do with it? I'm like, oh, I'm gonna put it in the bedroom for now. And then I kid you not, my wife, she was like, what is that? And we looked at it, we had to look it up. There was a termite in our bed. My wife's freaking out. We're like, all right, like, look, like, we don't know Oregon, maybe like they have termites. Like, this is first time out here in the West. And then the next day we find another one. We're like, dude, it's the log slice. Oh, no. So we're like, all right, we're gonna find a place in the storage for the log slice. It's out of the bedroom for now.
You could see how happy the guys were to celebrate that log slice with you. It's not easy coming into a new team, especially at this point of the season. How much of your travels and you being across it in Europe as well, how much has that prepared you to have the right character stepping into the dressing room for the first time?
Yeah, you mentioned my travels playing abroad for a long time, starting, as a foreign player. I think you pick up a lot of experience with just like the game is its own language. Focus on the game, do your job on the field, and the relationship with the guys always follows. There's always that moment where you're like, do you fit here? How are things going? But you keep your head down, work hard, and good things follow.
Your character has struck me as being very strong since you coming in our chats back and forth. For you, the character has come into play where twice you've come on for an injured Jeff Antonella, but particularly the last match, it was a tough decision for the manager who to start. You ended up coming in for an injured Jeff Antonella. What was that like for you, having to start on the bench and then wrapping your head around coming into the team?
Well, this is kind of my first 2 times ever coming in, so it's always a challenge when you come to the games. I mean, there's a bunch of emotions. First of all, you're bummed for Jeff. He's worked very hard, but also you have a job to do. And it was an intense 10 minutes there because we need to preserve that point at home. That's the most important thing. So, I was able to get my head wrapped around the game and succeed, but overall, I was happy to get back out there. It's a special thing to play and special to play for this team for sure.
Your style of play, you're a confident goalkeeper with your feet specifically. Where did that come from? Yeah,
I mean, I had this coach in Norway who was basically like, look, you're going to get better with your feet or we're going to replace you. So I basically was like sink or swim my whole career. So yeah, I just had to get better. It wasn't a strong suit, but now I feel like it is, and I'm really proud of that. That's what I like to do. I like to be a two-way player. It's kind of like my MO now.
And big part of that for your style of play was Greg Berhalter bringing you to Columbus Crew, which is an interesting story, and how much he needed a goalkeeper to really build his system, like yourself, who was good on the ball.
Yeah, he definitely, that's one of the first things he said to me was like, he asked me what type of goalkeeper I am, and then he said, that's the type I'm looking for. So,
right answer from you.
Yeah, I mean, look, I learned a lot from there. I had a great time playing with that team, a lot of good friends. It's interesting in life, like things prepare you for your future. And at the time, you don't know that, but I firmly believe that, and I have a lot of faith in that. So coming here in the stretch run for the Timbers, man, it's just a great chapter in my career.
Steve, with RSL coming in, Jake already mentioned 2 games against them before the final game of the season. What do you make of this final 3-game push and going up against the team twice back-to-back? Does that make it tricky?
Well, I have some experience in the playoffs, and this is the only way I've ever done it. It's tight. Things aren't going to be easy. So to think that you're going to have a big cushion in October in the MLS is rare. And I also think heading into the playoffs that you want games to mean something right now. You don't want to be taking it easy. You want to be going into playoff atmospheres every single week to get yourself ready, to get the boys ready. Real Salt Lake, for me, in the back line and the, the back six, it's going to be a heavy job. You know, they have guys that attack. They attack fast. You know, crosses, direct balls, dribble. You know, they have everything. So exciting challenge. What an opportunity to get in there and really put the pressure on them with some points. So.
You talk about crosses coming into the box for a goalkeeper playing in altitude, make a difference?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've never noticed it when I played there. You know, those are the type of things that I think that your brain calculates. That I don't want to get too much into it, but altitude's there. That's something that's real. Also, I've heard it's going to be, the weather's going to be poor, but look, this is playoff time.